The galaxy had long dismissed humanity as a legend, a mere myth whispered among the elder races. Stories told of a ruthless species from a forgotten world, a race so stubborn that even the gods of entropy could not break them. No evidence of their existence remained, no homeworld, no ruins, no records, just myths of a terrifying force that had once shaped the stars before vanishing into obscurity. For centuries, the Galactic Council had ruled unchallenged, its empires stretching across thousands of worlds. They believed themselves the pinnacle of civilization, their fleets unmatched, their technology supreme. But when the Drek Dominion launched its campaign of conquest, swallowing entire systems in flames, the Council's power began to crack. No one could stop the Drek. No one dared until the sky over Xanthora Prime split apart. A rift, unlike anything seen before, burned through space, tearing reality asunder. From its depths emerged ships unlike any the galaxy had ever known. They were not sleek and elegant like those of the Alvari, nor vast and organic like the Zori Hive ships. No, these vessels were angular, brutal, and battle-scarred, machines of war forged in the heart of an unseen battlefield. Their hulls bore no insignia. Their weapons crackled with a power not witnessed in millennia. Then came the transmission. A single message, a voice deep and resolute, speaking in a language thought lost to time. Humanity had returned. The Drek scoffed. To them, humanity was a ghost story meant to scare the weak. They believed their power absolute. They fired first. A Drek warship unleashed plasma lances scorching toward the lead human vessel. The blast should have melted through any known shielding, reduced primitive relics to dust, but the human ship did not falter. Its armor absorbed the hit like a beast waking from slumber. Then it retaliated. The return volley was not sleek beams of energy or an elegant display of technological superiority. It was raw destruction, kinetic rounds the size of buildings, moving so fast they burned through space itself, slammed into the Drek fleet. Shields meant to withstand the might of the Council shattered like glass. The humans did not wait. They advanced. Their ships moved with terrifying precision, formations tight, every movement practiced, every shot deliberate. They fought with the cold efficiency of a species that had survived the impossible. The battle did not last long. The Drek, once unstoppable, were obliterated in mere hours. Their mighty flagships became floating husks. Their warlords, who had terrorized the stars for centuries, fell silent. And then, as suddenly as they had arrived, the humans spoke again. The galaxy had forgotten them. Empires trembled. The legend of humanity had returned not as myth, but as reality. And the galaxy would never be the same. The aftermath sent shockwaves across the galaxy. The Drek Dominion, once unstoppable, had been utterly crushed. What was meant to be an easy conquest had turned into a massacre. The Galactic Council, watching from their ivory towers, struggled to comprehend what had occurred. The legends had spoken of humanity as a brutal but fallen species, one that had burned too brightly and consumed itself in war. Yet here they were, their ships prowling the wreckage, scavenging defeated foes with cold efficiency. They had not come for diplomacy, for allies, or forgiveness. They had come as conquerors. High Chancellor Vexer of the Alvari Dominion stood in stunned silence as reports poured into the council hall. The battle had lasted only 4 hours. The Drek Armada, over 1,000 warships strong, had been eradicated. Even the most powerful empires in the council had never achieved such a swift and decisive victory. Vexer's blood ran cold as she watched the human fleet on the holomap. Their warships formed an impenetrable wall in Drek-controlled space. No hails, no diplomatic gestures, just an eerie silence, as if they were waiting for something. "Have we sent a delegation?" Azari Broodlord rasped, mandibles clicking nervously. "We attempted," Vexer said, gripping the edges of the table. "They ignored our messages. No response, no threats, nothing." "That silence is worse than any declaration of war," a reptilian counselor growled. Vexer did not disagree. Silence was the weapon of predators. Meanwhile, aboard the UHS Retribution, Admiral Elias Varos watched as his fleet finished their sweep of the battlefield. The humans had left nothing salvageable. What remained of the Drek fleet was little more than floating scrap. The ship's AI Omen projected casualty reports onto the command console. Drek forces eliminated, 98%. Human casualties, 0.4%. "That's too easy," Voss muttered. "They were supposed to be the apex predators of this sector." Captain Ren Vasquez smirked. "They thought we were a myth." "Ghost stories don't usually shoot back," Voss replied. They did not understand what they were facing yet, but they would. The humans did not negotiate. They did not strike council worlds or make demands. They simply continued their methodical dismantling of the Drek Dominion, taking system after system with brutal efficiency. The Drek, who had once terrorized the stars, were now scattering like insects before fire. It was not a war, it was eradication. The council had never seen anything like it. VXAR, High Chancellor of the Council, felt the weight of history pressing down as she reviewed the latest reports. Drek-controlled worlds taken, 42 Drek warships destroyed, 2,136 human fleet losses minimal. And now, something even more terrifying. The Drek homeworld, Carvo 6, was under siege. It had taken the humans less than a month to do what the Council had failed to accomplish in centuries. They were executing them. The humans did not harm civilians. They did not pillage. They were not traditional conquerors. They were reclaiming what was theirs. Aboard the UHS Retribution, Voss observed as Carvo 6 fell under human control. His officers moved with precision, disciplined, their faces hardened by knowledge. This was their legacy. Humanity had been cast aside, erased from history. And now they were returning. Then came the Council's direct envoy, desperate for peace. High Chancellor Vexer boarded the human vessel under heavy escort. The humans did not fire upon her ship. They did not threaten. They allowed her aboard. She met Admiral Elias Veros. His presence was like gravity itself, unseen but oppressive. He bore no decorations, only the sigil of the United Human Systems. His gaze was cold, unreadable. "You asked for a meeting. Here we are," he said. "I am High Chancellor Vexer, representing the Galactic Council," she replied. "I know who you are." Walking through the corridors of the Retribution, Vexer observed the stark practicality of the ship. "You didn't respond to our previous messages," she said carefully. "We were busy wiping out an entire species," Voss replied. She froze. "They were already dead," he said simply. "They just didn't know it yet." "What happens after the Drek are gone?" she asked. "That depends on whether the rest of you make the same mistakes they did," he said, ice in his eyes. Vexer realized the Council had never faced an empire like this. The humans were not just vengeful, they were patient, methodical, unstoppable. They had waited in the shadows for centuries, and now they returned to reclaim what had been stolen. "Why did you wait so long?" she asked, voice barely a whisper. "Because we don't want a graveyard," Voss said. "We want a future." Humanity could have burned the galaxy. They could have wiped out every species that betrayed them. Instead, they rebuilt. They claimed the systems without bloodshed when possible, restructured governance, and demanded justice, not just vengeance, but restoration of what had been theirs. Vexer understood, finally, that the era of the Galactic Council was over. The era of humanity had begun, and the stars would never be the same again.